takes.
If they don't make it to the finals, then this might be one of the biggest L's in NBA history.
Hot topics.
Embiid never had the mentality to win a championship. I don't think he ever will win a championship.
The best analysis.
But Jokic, he might be the best player in the league this season. He really might be the MVP.
This is the Full Court Report.
And we're back. Episode number 2, I think.
Yeah,
I
think so.
2025-2026 NBA season. How you fellas doing?
doing good.
Doing okay. How about yourself?
Yeah, it's we're doing these a little less frequently, but it's all right. You know, we're gonna try and pump out some content while we can. But it's been a really good NBA season, I think. I feel like all the games have been very competitive. There's like a lot of players in the league that have taken some steps forward that are really fun to watch. You know, it's honestly been a blast to watch on all the different platforms, even like NBC, Prime.
Yeah.
You see the Inside the NBA folks on ESPN now instead of TNT. So it's been fun. A lot going on. We're here to talk about it. So, yeah. On today's episode, we're gonna discuss some surprises and disappointments through the first month or so of the season. But before we do that, we got some pretty major news yesterday. Another guy, he's told us that this is going to be his last season in the NBA. And it's not LeBron James. It's Chris Paul, the point god, as they call him. Yeah, so Chris Paul, he officially announced that this season, his 21st NBA season, will be his last. He's 40 years old currently. Chris Paul, he's a 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA selection, 9-time All-Defensive Team selection, 2006 Rookie of the Year. He's also named to the NBA 75th anniversary team. So yeah, like I said, the point god. A lot of people like to consider him. I just figured we could, talk about him a little bit before we jump into our surprises and disappointments. But I don't know. Any thoughts on Chris Paul?
I'll let you go, Toby, because I don't have a lot of positive things to say.
Wow.
Okay. I've never been like a huge Chris Paul hater. It's watching his whole career has been great, even though he hasn't been able to get over the hump getting that ring. But I've always had, a soft spot for shorter guards. And I feel like growing up, watching his highlights, he's always made, the ball, he's just made everything he does look so easy. And, I've always tried to, I've always looked up to him because of that, try to emulate his game and see what I could take from it and stuff like that. But, yeah, I think Chris Paul is going to go down as one of the top point guards of all time. Love him or hate him. I don't think there's any denial. He's been in the league for so long. I do think it's kind of time. Maybe it was a couple years ago, but he actually, I think he's played great up until his old age, I should say in quotation marks. Carried the Suns to the finals back in, 2021. Again, wasn't able to get that ring, but I feel like any team he's ever been on has been a good, playoff contending team, especially when he was in his prime. And yeah, I'm gonna miss him. It's gonna be a different NBA without him in the league.
It's going to be an NBA for the better when he's out of here.
Oh my gosh.
No, I have never really been that big of a fan of Chris Paul. You always hear the stories about him being like a terrible teammate or just, bad guy in general.
What?
He's a bad locker room guy. He's not. I've heard people like on the podcasts, the ex NBA players on the podcast, everybody's talking trash about Chris Paul. Nobody's ever got anything nice to say about Chris Paul. But no, he was 1/3, I guess, of the greatest era in NBA basketball, the Lob City Clippers. Uh, like you said, Toby, he never got over the hump with them. Couldn't get her done. He went to the Western Conference Finals, I believe, with the Clippers. I think they played the Warriors, perhaps, back in the
I don't.
early back
I
in the
don't think
early
they did. I
2010s.
don't think the Clippers ever made the Western Conference Finals with him.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
he did in Houston with James Harden.
yeah, I got carried.
Hmm, that's debatable.
Nah, because they would have made the finals if he was healthy.
The Game 7 if he played.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I don't know. I'm not really gonna miss him too much, but he will. Like you said, Jory. 12-time All-Star, 11-time All-NBA, 9-time All-Defensive Team as a 6-foot guard. Um, he's got the accolades to be a Hall of Fame player, no doubt. He'll be a Hall of Famer, first ballot most likely. But
I
you
will
know,
say, I just want to add a quick point though. I do understand where the hate comes from because he is one of the OG rage baiters. I mean, from all the antics of like, forget which game it was, but he was saying like he has to tuck in his shirt and he made the other team get a technical. The fight with Rondo, that was a classic. So I get, he gets on the other team's nerves, but if he was on your team, like that's like the exact, like you'd be rooting for him 100%. So like I understand where the hate comes from.
yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, he really does sound like my type of guy. Like that's the type of stuff that I like to see. But I don't know. I guess I just never really was messing with Chris Paul to begin with, so I just never got over my hate for him because sometimes I could flip flop. Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, hate this guy," and then he'll go to a different team or just you know have some kind of post game interview. He'll say something. I'll be like, you know what, that guy's pretty sweet. But I couldn't do it with Chris Paul. Um, but yeah, I'll give it to him. He's definitely top 5 point guard all time. Maybe he might even be top 4. He might even be the fourth. But I don't know. Actually, maybe even not top 5.
I think he's top five. I think he's five at least.
All right, Steph and Magic are both better.
Agreed.
John Stockton is better.
Nah.
I'd probably put Stockton over him.
I'm Since neither one of them have a ring, I'm putting Russell Westbrook over him.
Wow.
He might be 5. He might be 5.
I think to me, I would say Magic, Steph, in no particular order. I think those two are debatable. And then Oscar Robertson and Isaiah Thomas are probably top 4. And then from there, I think it's a kind of debate between probably like the 3 guys you said, Russ, Chris Paul, and Stockton.
I really think Stockton might be 3 or 4. I did forget about the Big O.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I think Chris Paul, I don't know. He's always been like one of my favorite players, to be honest. Like you said, Justin, like the Lob City Clippers. I mean, think of what could have happened though if he had went to the Lakers and played with Kobe. Like obviously that was kind of like the tail end of Kobe's career, like right before he got hurt. So who knows like what that would have really looked like. But that would have been an interesting time in the NBA for sure. But I think I think the way to describe Chris Paul is he's like the ultimate floor raiser. He's like, because I think there was a stat where like every time he joined a new team, they on average won like 14 more games than the previous season. Like so he started his career in New Orleans, and like immediately his rookie season they were better, and then his first year in LA they were better, and then he goes to Houston. They go, I think in his first year in Houston they made the Western Conference Finals,
And they were the
and then
one
I
seed,
think
I think, right?
I think either
They
one
had
or
like
two. I can't
60
remember.
wins.
Yeah, and then I think to me honestly his most impressive season, just based on expectation, was when he went to OKC that one year, and they were like, I think it was like him, Shea. I think Shea's first year in OKC, I want to say, maybe a second, and then like Dennis Schroeder or something,
Yeah.
and like the team construction was just like so whack, but they still ended up being like a top 5 seed in the West, I think. Like ridiculous, and I think Shea even talks about that season being like really huge for his development as a player. So that was obviously really impressive. And then, like you said, Toby, earlier, getting to the finals with Phoenix. I think the only time it didn't really happen was when he was in Golden State that one year.
Hmm.
And, like, that team, I mean, I don't know. He probably should have never went to Golden State, but whatever. And then, obviously, he went to San Antonio last season, played with Victor. So, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I think he's, like, the ultimate floor raiser. Like, every time he goes to a team, like, he's going to make them better. Um, and it's a shame that he couldn't get to the finals that one year in 2018. I feel like that would have that. I mean, obviously the NBA had a. It was great to see LeBron versus Steph a bunch of times, but it would have been interesting to see that series between the Rockets and the Cavs in 2018. I feel like it would have been a even better matchup, to be honest. But I don't know. We're gonna miss him. Ultimate mid-range guy too. Like midi pull up, like I don't know. Like you said, Toby, being a smaller guard, I feel like he's so efficient at that shot, and like especially later in his career, like it was honestly amazing to watch some games. Um, but yeah, shout out Chris Paul, the point
Nah.
god.
Yeah, shout out Chris Paul.
Good riddance.
Wow, wow. All right, well, yeah, I figured we'd just mention that real quick before we move on. But now let's, like I said, we're going to discuss some surprises and disappointments through about 1 month in the NBA season. Most teams have played between like 15 and like 18 games or so. So, figured we'd discuss like what we've seen, what we like, what we don't like. So we'll start with a team that has surprised you this season, a team that, you didn't really have many expectations for and has kind of overachieved in your mind. So, Justin, I guess you can go first if you want.
All right. Well, yeah. A lot of craziness. Honestly, this is not at all how I thought the season would start off. The standings are just completely out of whack, in my opinion. You never think that teams that are playing well are playing that well. Teams that are really not looking good, you wouldn't have expected it. But I have a few teams. I'm just gonna kind of go quick through these couple of teams. I got like, one little thing to say about each team, so try not to yap too much. But first of all, Pistons. Yeah, I thought they would be good. Thought they'd be a top seed in the East for sure, at least top four. But they're number one in the East, 14-2, 12 win streak. Looking like the favorite to come out of the East at this point. Um, Another team in the East, down south in Miami, the Heat. They're looking pretty good. I think they were the fourth seed in the East right now. I think they're 10-6. Um, Kel'el Ware, Davion Mitchell, both been playing very solid. Uh, Kel'el Ware, I think was last year's rookie year.
Yeah, I think so.
It was either his rookie year or his second year.
Second year. I think it was.
He was playing pretty good last year, but this year I've been seeing, he's doing his thing. Davion Mitchell, I saw maybe like a week ago, had a really good game, and like, either like a game-winning shot or something clutch. Um, And Norman Powell is looking like he's about to get snubbed for All-Star again because
Yeah.
he's averaging like I think it was 26, something like that. He's top 10 in scoring, I'm pretty sure. Top 10, top 15 in scoring right now. Um, yeah, and they're looking good. Out west, the Lakers, 11-4, 10-4 without LeBron to start the year. They got their one win with LeBron, who only had 11 points. Um, Austin Reeves has been, you know, playing like an all-star. I'm pretty sure for a good like week or two, he was leading the Lakers in scoring, but now they got Luka leading the league in scoring. Um, Jake LaRavia has been balling for the Lakers. And then the Suns, figured the Suns would be a bottom 10 team. Um, I was looking at their roster. I'm not even kidding you. I might just be a casual. I might just be a casual, but other than six players on the Suns, I've never heard of the whole rest of their team. Let's,
Wow.
you know
Yeah.
what? Let me go. Let me look at this real quick.
I know they had a game the other night against the Timberwolves where they were down 8 points, I think, with a minute to go. And I think there was a stat that teams were like, oh, and like 3,000 or something in that situation. And they somehow came back and won the game. And Devin Booker, I think, had fouled out at that point. So, like, it wasn't even like him just going off. It was crazy.
But yeah, I'm looking at their roster. Heard of Royce O'Neal, Devin Booker, Nick Richards, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, Grayson Allen, Mark Williams. All these other dudes, never heard of any of these guys. Like, who is Jamari Boye?
What about
Guy's name
Colin
is,
Gillespie? Did you say him?
I don't know who Colin Gillespie is.
Yeah, you
Shout out
do.
Gillespie.
He's
He's local,
from Nova.
So,
Come on, you're the
local
Nova
guy.
Knicks. You got to know.
why would I know this guy?
He's good though. He's actually pretty good.
I mean, yeah, 11, 4, and 5, not too bad.
And Jalen Green hasn't even played like at all this season. I think he's played
Really?
like one game. Yeah, maybe 2 games. So you're definitely right. Phoenix has definitely overachieved.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy, come on.
Come on,
Maluwak.
Maluwak.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a
Maluwak.
rookie. He was their top pick this year. I don't think he really gets in though.
Oso Iguodaro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is.
Well,
You're gonna have to watch the Suns.
yeah, I'm like
I don't think I have watched the Suns game, if we're being honest.
fair.
But 10-6,
Pretty good.
Have
an
any other
official
teams?
playoff team. They're out of the play-in. They're in the playoffs at this point. So
Were there any other teams you wanted to mention?
nope.
Just
Went through all
those.
mine. I think there was four of them.
Tobe.
I guess
All right,
I
you
can
go.
I'll break it down. So I was also thinking about the Suns. I think, obviously we're very early in the season, so I have a feeling, you know, they might just be on a little bit of a hot streak. It might even out a little bit. The team, I wouldn't say I'm like the most surprised about, but um, they are very much exceeding my expectations. And Justin mentioned them as the Pistons. I think the Pistons look like one of the most complete teams in the NBA. I'm a huge JB Bickerstaff guy, so it seems like he's doing a good job over there. And honestly, he's kind of looking like an MVP a little bit. And he might be in the MVP discussions if he can keep this up for the rest of the year, especially if they're a 1 or 2 seed. Um, I figured they would be a good team, but just looking at the same exact team from 2 years ago. And I think Cade said it in a press conference. He said they're not 2-26 bad. And that press conference really stuck with me because, he really believes in himself and in his team. And like I said, I know it's early, but I think this team is, barring health, I think they're at least making the Eastern Conference Finals. If not, I think they're making the finals.
Well, Knicks Pistons Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'm no, it's definitely this has got to be one of the most impressive turnarounds like in NBA history. Because to go from a team like you said, I don't think they were ever what was it 28 straight losses. Like I don't know. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But to go from that in 2 seasons later to being the best team, or at least record wise in the East, is incredible. And for the most part, a lot of the same players. But yeah, no, I mean it's remarkable what they've been able to do. And like you said, I agree. I think Cade is definitely in that MVP conversation right now.
And
I-
Jalen Duren he's playing really good too. He's looking like an all-star. I had one of my coworkers used to play basketball in high school, and he showed me a clip of Jalen in his sophomore year, just looking like a grown man, like dunking on all the other kids. But yeah, he's looking very dominant. They got shooters. Obviously they have great defensive players. So I think this team is gonna go super far.
yeah, no, they're definitely going to be interesting. Um, like you said, shout out JB Bickerstaff. Um, yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see what happens down the stretch of this season. But
And I wanted real quick,
go
I
ahead.
wanted to shout out the Raptors too. The Raptors have
There you
been playing
go.
really good too. They're right behind them. I think that's just kind of the same thing. I don't think they're gonna I think it might even out a little bit, but you never
Mhm.
know.
Well, that was a team I was going to pick, the Toronto Raptors,
Ah,
as a team. That surprised me. No, that's all good. It's a good transition. Like you said, they're currently 11-5, like you said, second in the East. They got a top 5 offense and a top 10 defense. And they've also, I think they've just benefited from being really healthy this season. They've played Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Grady Dick have played every game. So obviously it helps when you have your best players in the lineup. But I think for so long they were like this. Toronto was like trying to build this roster of a bunch of guys between like 6'6" and like 6'9" or whatever. Like just all wings, and it never really worked. Because it felt like so often like players would like kind of overlap and like step on each other's toes. But I feel like for this team, like this construction of a team, you don't really see that, and all the players are like very unselfish and kind of allow each other to just be themselves. Like obviously Scotty Barnes is kind of like the headliner, I think, but Brandon Ingram to me has looked the best since that All-Star year he had when he was in New Orleans. Like he just looks really engaged, and he just looks like he's happy. Like he doesn't really look like like he's like kind of dragging out there, like he doesn't want to be there or anything. Like he actually looks like he is enjoying being a part of this team. Like I said, like there are moments where Scotty Barnes kind of just operates the offense, and then they kind of hand the keys over to Brandon Ingram, and then other times it's Emmanuel Quickly, and other times RJ Barrett will get a few touches. Like it's kind of just like whoever is got it going at that time, and it just continues to work. And then defensively, they're just like a super long and like athletic team that moves really well, and they're all really connected. And like it doesn't really matter who they sub in because like everybody kind of feels like the same type of player. So I feel like they finally kind of cracked the code in Toronto, and I think that's why it's starting to work. And then they have some really good like bench pieces as well. Jamal Shed, who's in his second year, he's like a kind of defensive-minded point guard. He comes in and like gives them a lot of really good energy, and he's like a really low turnover player. Like he doesn't really make a lot of mistakes, which is nice. And then my guy Sandro Mamukelishvili
Yes, sir.
from Seton Hall, I think he's finally found like an actual role in the NBA because I think he started his career in Milwaukee, and then I think the past few seasons he's been in San Antonio, and he's never really like been a rotational NBA player, but now he's like basically their backup big man. And he's honestly like a really versatile player. Like he can stretch the floor, and he's like 6'10", but he can like put the ball on the floor. Like he's kind of like a poor man's like Julius Randle, to be honest. He's not Julius Randle, but like, the lefty who can like, he's a lot faster than he looks, and athletic and shoot it, rebound, pass. So I don't know. I feel like they have a really good thing going right now, and I don't know. I don't think it's gonna really tailor off unless somebody gets hurt and kind of just interrupts their flow. But I really like what I see from Toronto right now. I would like to see them back in the playoffs. It'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I really do. I mean, I don't hate the Pistons. I actually really like the Pistons. They're, a lot of their players I like, I mess with them. But I just hate them because I know the Knicks are probably going to have to see them in the playoffs. And they gave us a run for our money last year. So,
They're only better this year.
yeah, I know. I'm a little scared. A little scared of Detroit. But I also really like the Raptors, dude. I really like obviously RJ Barrett, my guy. I miss that guy. Brandon Ingram, always thought he was a baller. And Scotty Air Barney. Guy's so tough, dude.
Scotty Air.
He's so tough.
He is. Yeah, no, they're a good team. Darko Rajakovic, their head coach, I feel like he might be in contention for coach of the year. I feel like it normally goes to the guy who kind of overachieves. So if they keep winning, he might be up there. Get your bets in now. But all right, yeah. So we covered some teams. I figured now we should talk about some individual players who have surprised you this season. There's a lot of guys, honestly, that I could have picked, but I don't know. I think I narrowed it down to one. So, but Toby, you can go first. Who do you think is your
All right.
surprise player?
So I just have a couple. First one, I wanted to just shine a quick light on VJ Edgecombe on the 76ers. I feel like obviously he was a pretty high pick, but I don't think anybody really expected him, especially in the first like couple weeks, to play as well as he has. And it seems like he's kind of I don't want to say turn like the team around, but the team is in a lot better position now that he's on there, and they're looking healthier and stuff like that. So I'm just saying that's probably an obvious choice, but I didn't expect him to be that good coming into the NBA. But I would say the player that's really impressed me a lot this year so far, and it might be a little controversial, but I'm gonna go Jay Giddey. Josh Gidler.
Oh my god.
He's been balling, dude, for the Bulls this year. His minutes is a little bit up, but points and efficiency is way high. I think he makes his teammates better. He's almost averaging 10 assists per game. So, yeah, the way he's been playing, I think the Bulls have a couple interesting pieces. He's really, really impressed me so far this year. And I think this is what his probably fifth or sixth season.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't expect a huge jump up from somebody like that. So I think all jokes aside, I think he's been really impressive this year. And the Bulls are a fun team to watch too. And he's making them fun to watch.
The Giddler.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Jory, there's a lot of surprising players. I couldn't even just pick a few. Like I have so many players, but the only thing is none of these guys are really playing meaningful basketball, in my opinion.
Oh, all right, we'll start naming some names. I'm curious.
Yeah. So, first it's kind of like two of these picks are like duos, kind of. So we have Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George in Utah. Just they're lighting it up over there. Lauri is a top 10 scorer, and Keontae George is a top 25 scorer. Lauri Markkanen's putting up like 30 a game, bro. Like he's really hooping. Um, over in Portland, Denny Avdia and Shaden Sharp are both averaging over 22 points a game, 22.6 for Shaden Sharp and 26 for Denny Avdia. And the Blazers aren't too bad. I think they're either in the play-in or they're that 11th seed right behind it. So, 11th seed isn't, good. But if they can snag a play-in spot, that'd be nice to see. I don't know, I don't really believe that they'd even get out of the play-in, but it would just be fun to see the Blazers be semi-competitive again. Because back when they had Dame and LaMarcus Aldridge, dude, um, and even a little bit after
CJ
LaMarcus
McCollum
Aldridge. Hmm?
with McCollum.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean they were always. I mean Dame is there. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why
Dame
they're.
is there. He'll be back, hopefully. But
Yeah.
yeah, Blazers, not too bad. Another guy who I was hating on big time in the draft, a rookie, Con Knipple in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Really cannot believe what I'm seeing out of this guy.
I
He might
told
take
you.
rookie of the year at this point.
I feel like I talked about him
Oh yeah.
on
Everybody
another
other than me was
episode.
gassing him up.
Yeah, dude.
He's
He's
like that.
legit.
He's like that.
Um, but yeah, no. Con Knipple, shout out guy. Ooh, excuse me. And another guy who texted you guys in the group chat, I was like, this guy's for real. Ryan Rollins in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Drafted in 2022. Hasn't really been playing much. Last year he was playing 14 minutes a game. This year he's up at 31 minutes a game. And he's basically just Damian Lillard Jr. He's a poor man's Damian Lillard at this point. He's averaging 18 and a half points in almost six rebounds, 6 assists per game. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was watching, the Bucks Knicks game a couple weeks ago, and guy was playing very efficient. Really good shooting from outside, had a mid range on him, was making good looks. Um, doing his thing, and like I said, he was a second round. He was the 44th pick in 2022 and just kind of floated around in the NBA, kind of barely holding on to his job. And, he filled that spot perfectly. He's been playing great.
Shout out Ryan Rollins. Yeah. No, I see what you mean by saying like a lot of them aren't really playing on competitive teams, but it's still impressive to see everybody kind of
Yeah,
take
I
that
just feel like,
elevate.
I've seen what I thought I would see out of the good players on the good teams.
Yeah.
Nothing too surprising on the, top teams in the league. If they're playing how I figured they would play.
Makes sense. All right, so I have one guy that I wanted to highlight, and I don't know. I guess I just never really viewed him as like a. I don't really know. I'm not even gonna say that. Nikhil Alexander Walker in Atlanta. Atlanta right now they're seventh in the Eastern Conference. They're 10-7, and they're doing a lot of this without Trae Young. I forget the injury Young is out with right now, but he's been out for a while. And on the season, Nikhil Alexander Walker, he's averaging a career high 19.1 points and 3.6 assists. And he's also taking a career high in threes this season, 6.4. So, he started his career in New Orleans, and then he spent a couple of years in Minnesota, kind of just being like a off the bench, mainly defensive player to kind of come in and provide like a little bit of relief at like a backup point guard or shooting guard position. But now I feel like he's really had an opportunity to be more of like a lead guard for this team, which is really interesting to see. Like, I don't know if he's really changed or like developed any parts of his game. It's really just more opportunity to play. And I feel like that's really the only difference team, because last year they obviously had the most improved player, Dyson Daniels. So Nikhil Alexander-Walker might be in line to win the award again. But also Jalen Johnson, who's honestly one of my favorite players in the league. Kind of just like a do-it-all forward for them. But also, I feel like this team, Atlanta as a whole, is just in a really interesting position. Because like I said, they're winning right now, or at least, they're being competitive without Trae Young. And this past summer, they traded, so New Orleans traded up with Atlanta to get Derek Queen, who has been really good for them as a rookie. But in doing so, they traded their 2026 unprotected first-round pick. And New Orleans, at the moment, is the worst team in the Western Conference. They're 2-15. I think they have the second worst record in the league. So, I don't know. I mean, they already have a really good young team. Like I said, Jalen Johnson, Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Risache, another guy who they drafted number 1 overall. And if you add another top pick, and this draft class is really good. Like Darren Peterson is really good. Cameron Boozer at Duke is really good. AJ DeBansta. So like even if it's not the number 1 overall pick, they could still add like a really high end player, depending on where this draft pick goes. And I think even then from there, you just like reevaluate what this team is without Trae Young, and they could make him available and see what they can get in a trade. Like I feel like Atlanta's in like a really interesting position right now, to be honest. And but I think the play of a lot of these younger guys has really made it, them to be a huge story moving forward. But we'll see.
Yeah, I would hate to see Trae Young go though. Even though he's done my Knicks dirty plenty of times, I'm still always a Trae Young fan. It's just the whole thing is, he's never gotten any help out of the front office in Atlanta, and now he's finally got a solid team. And if they decide to move on, if they get a top draft pick in this upcoming draft, then I don't know. I feel pretty bad for him. That's kind of a sad way to go out, I guess.
It's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
We'll take him. We'll take him in Brooklyn.
I mean, I'm not.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
That wouldn't be too bad. You guys need somebody. No, I mean, I'm not saying they should trade him. Like I'm not saying that's like what they need to do, but I'm just saying like just based on how they're playing and what their future could look like, it wouldn't be like the craziest thing in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's not really but yeah, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, shout out to him. He's playing really well. So I just wanted to talk about him for a second. Yeah. So, all right, now we can kind of transition to the other end of the spectrum. Some teams and players that have disappointed us this season. I guess I'll start, and we'll talk about teams first. I'll start with the team that I think has been really disappointing. And honestly, there hasn't been a lot of teams that I look at where I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of expected them to be good, and they're like worse than what I kind of expected. Like for the most part, a lot of the teams like at the bottom of the Eastern Conference I didn't really anticipate being very good. And even the Western Conference too. Like I didn't really look at anybody and be like, oh yeah, I thought they would have been better. But I think the LA Clippers have really disappointed me this season. Right now they're 12th in the West. They're 5-11. And obviously they've dealt with a lot of injuries. Like Kawhi, I think, has only played like 6 games because he's been out with an ankle injury. And then Bradley Beal, he's going to miss the entire season with like a hip injury, I want to say. But they kind of had a big offseason where they brought in like John Collins. They brought in Brooke Lopez. And obviously they brought in Bradley Beal, who's no longer playing. But I don't know. I kind of maybe expected them to just be a little bit more competitive. I always felt like Ty Lue was, one of the best coaches in the NBA and always seems to kind of figure it out. But it just feels like this team just does not have like any juice outside of James Harden, who honestly is playing out of his mind. He's currently ninth in the NBA in scoring, averaging 28.4 points, and he's fifth in assists at 8.5. So he literally looks like vintage James Harden, which is crazy because he's 36 years old and in a league that's so young. And and we praise guys like Curry and LeBron and KD for having like longevity. We got to add James Harden to that conversation as well. Like he's been so consistent his whole career. But yeah, I guess really the Clippers have just, I don't know, underperformed in my expectations. And not only that, the whole Paul George trade is the gift that keeps on giving to the Oklahoma City Thunder because they still have picks going to the Thunder, this team, and this year's first round pick for the Clippers goes to the Thunder. So depending on where they finish, that'll be another lottery pick for OKC, only adding to this freaking dynasty that they're building. It's ridiculous. So hopefully the Clippers win a couple more games, but we'll see.
Um, yeah, I agree. James Harden, guy's been playing like 2017 Harden, basically. He's during the month of November, uh, guy was literally was putting up 2017 stat lines, dude. Guy was really balling. But I have two teams, and this first team, you guys are gonna like this one. This first team is disappointing me, and it's the 76ers, and they're disappointing me because I thought they were gonna be ass, and they're tied with the Knicks.
Okay.
Okay.
They're tied with the Knicks. They're 9-6, and you brought it up earlier, Toby. VJ Edgecombe's really started off his NBA career on a heater. Um, Tyrese Maxey, he's second in the league in scoring, just had a career high 54. Um, Paul George, I'm pretty sure in his debut game this season, had a perfect game. He didn't miss any shots.
Hmm.
Uh, Embiid, when he's playing, has been playing half decent. Just you hate to see it. You hate to see it. I really thought they were going to be terrible, but like for real though, the you just talked about them, Jory, the New Orleans Pelicans, 2-15. Uh, Jordan Poole and DeJounte Murray are both out with injuries. DeJounte Murray recovering for that Achilles, and Jordan Poole was out with a quadriceps injury, I believe it was. And I mean, regardless, they still have a pretty good team. They have Zion playing. Um,
Trey
couple of new
Murphy.
guys, Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears. Derek Queen's been playing really good.
Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy, the other guy, Herb Jones,
Herb Jones. Yeah.
and just figured they wouldn't be as bad, but
And they
like
already
you said,
fired Willie Green
yeah,
already. So yeah, it's not looking good. They don't
second
even have their
worst team
pick.
in the league. I don't know what's going on.
And they don't even have their pick. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I agree with you both. Now the Pelicans, I I really don't like anything about them. um, but I also thought that they would have been better, and I was also thinking the Los Angeles Clippers have been really disappointing as well, especially with the injuries. And if James Harden wasn't playing at that high of a level, I think this team would just be in total shambles. So those two teams, they've been disappointing. I've also, and you might not like to hear this a lot, but I think the Knicks have been a little bit disappointing as well. Uh, Obviously, you have a new head coach, so there's some adjustments. I think they're going to get better as the season goes along. But if they don't, I don't think this is the year that they're going to go get over that hump because um I think you guys have a great you know, great three-man scoring system kind of, but I don't think you guys have the depth. I think there's a problem with bench production, and I think you guys are going to have to figure that out a little bit. Uh Lost a couple games to the Heat, lost a couple games to the Magic, and I think obviously dealing with a couple injuries here and there, but I think the Knicks are going to have to improve a little bit this year if they want to get back to where they were last year. You know, Eastern Conference Finals. And well, Justin, you said it. You said I think you said you would have been happy if they just make like the semifinals. I don't know if you still stand by that, but
This season,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I do think there's been a lot of adjusting to Mike Brown's system versus Tibbs' system. Uh, Not that I'm disappointed in him, but I thought Cat would be playing a little bit better. He's still putting up like 21 a game, averaging a couple of rebounds and all that nonsense. But I figured he would have upped his scoring if we're being honest, and he didn't. And yeah, we're not like you know, guys are playing, but Jalen Brunson missed a couple games with his ankle. I think Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart missed a couple games to start the season. Uh, just I don't know. I do kind of sort of agree that we're disappointing, but 15 games in, we'll figure it out.
yeah, facts. Also, I wanted to quickly shout out my Brooklyn Nets. I don't think I'm not disappointed in them because this is exactly what I expected. But I actually am looking forward to seeing what kind of draft pick they get at the end of this year. This is one of those years I don't care if we finish with 2 wins at the end of the year. Like I'm trying to get AJ DeBance to.
Yeah. Like I said, yeah, this draft class is going to be really good. So it's a good year to have a pick, especially a top one. So we'll see. But yeah. So like I said, I don't really feel like there's a lot of teams that I look at and I'm just like, oh man, they really have fallen off. Like I think I said in the offseason that like I thought the Mavericks were going to be a little bit better, but they also, Anthony Davis has been hurt and obviously Kyrie hasn't played, so I can't really evaluate them fairly yet. But I think Cooper Flag has been really good as a rookie. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it feels like these teams are kind of shaking out how I expected. But in terms of players, are there any players that you guys view as disappointments thus far? I feel like that's an easier question to answer.
Yeah, for once, I don't have a list of players or teams. I just have one guy that really just stood out to me. Ace Bailey in Utah.
Hmm.
He is a rookie. Can't really say much yet, but we were all saying either on Full Court Report or on the You Didn't Ask podcast that he was going to have the green light down there in Utah. He was going to be able to put up whatever he wanted, and he's only averaging 9 points per game. Like I said earlier, Laurie Markkinen and Keontae George are both putting up 20 a game. Laurie almost 30, but just figured, top 5 pick. You know, he did kind of not want to go to Utah. There was all that nonsense of him not showing up to training camp or whatever it was. But figured I would have seen a little bit more out of Ace Bailey.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that. For me, I chose 2 players. I chose first one was um Joel Embiid. Just because of the injury factor. I want to see as you guys know, I'm like the biggest Embiid hater. Uh, but I do want to see him on the court. And when he's having these like mysterious injuries and you know, that nobody really knows how long he's going to be out for, that's not a good uh sign. So he's just from that standpoint, it's been a bit of a disappointment. And then from somebody who's actually playing on a new team this year, who I got to watch a lot last year. I think Cam Johnson.
Oh man.
I think he can step it up a little bit. Obviously, he's playing with other stars now. He's not like the only guy on his team. But he is getting a lot of minutes, and I would just expect the production to be a little bit higher than it was. I think he had a pretty decent game last Nuggets game, but he's still averaging under 10 points a game. Efficiency isn't as high as it was. So that's a player I'd like to see improve. I've been a little bit disappointed in him.
Yeah. That's fair. I think
I'm happy with the having MPJ on our team, even though we're not getting any wins, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think, and I was just telling Justin before the show that Aaron Gordon is going to be out like a month with a hamstring injury, and they're already missing Christian Brown, so Cam Johnson in this time has really got to step up. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a transition period, like you said, going from like being the number one option in Brooklyn to being like realistically like the fourth or fifth option in Denver. It's kind of probably difficult to like fit in, but I think as the season progresses, he'll like find his shot and figure it out, become more of like a focal point in the offense. For the Joel Embiid thing though, I feel like I have just kind of at this point I don't even have expectations for Embiid anymore. Like I don't even, not to say that I don't want him like to play or anything, but like I don't view him anymore as like, I don't even really view him as an all-star anymore. Like I don't even really view him as like the MVP Embiid that we saw a couple years ago. Like I just kind of see him as he's just the guy, who's gonna
Just a guy?
just a guy. Like I don't know. Like I can't really, like when he's playing like once every like 4 games. Like it's hard for anybody to be like productive in that kind of role. Like. And then Tyrese Maxey has clearly taken the reins of this team. Like I think he's the best player on this team, like without question. So like I just don't feel like I just don't feel like Embiid is the priority anymore in Philadelphia. And like if he's always injured, like it's hard to get any momentum going. So like I said, I kind of just feel like he would be better off just, I don't know, being like a lower usage player. And kind of just I don't know. It's weird to say that he might be like a role player at this point, but that's kind of what it feels like. I don't know.
Might be better though. It just might be what it is.
Yeah. We'll see. He still, could figure it out, but I really don't see it anymore. But another star player, in my opinion, who has been very disappointing, and it's a shame that Spencer's in here to hear this. Ja Morant. Ja Morant has really, I don't know. I think last season, like there's a bunch of turmoil. I mean, the past like feels like his whole career, but I feel like the past couple of seasons, like with everything that he's been dealing with, like legal issues and stuff like that, and the suspension and all the injuries that he's faced, like I kind of felt like going into this year, he would kind of have like a clear head and really just focus on basketball and get back to being like one of the best players in the league. He's kind of done the opposite of that. He's averaging 17.9 points, which is the second lowest of his career. He's shooting 35.9% from the field and 16% from 3. Like just putrid numbers, efficiency-wise. Right now, Memphis is 6-11. They're 10th in the West, and they rank 25th in offensive efficiency. And I know that he's had like some disagreements with his new coach, Tomas Izalo, because I know in the past playing under Taylor Jenkins, they ran like a certain type of offense where he was getting a bunch of pick and rolls and opportunities to get to the rim, but he hasn't really had too much of that playing under this new coach, so they're not really seeing eye to eye from what it sounds like. I don't know. I kind of just anticipated Ja to just be a little bit better and the Grizzlies to be a little bit better. And it feels like he's just still doing like the same things. Like he got suspended for calling out his coaches, like saying like, "Oh, I don't know why they're not playing me," and like you should ask the coaches why like I'm struggling, stuff like that. And then just last night, I think he was arguing with Klay Thompson, like calling him a bum and saying like, he's like basically washed and everything, like. And
Not
I'm like,
wrong.
Ja, like, I mean, he's not wrong. It's crazy. Like, I don't know. I just think he's just kind of doing all the same antics that he's always been doing and not really prioritizing like basketball. And I feel like it's kind of sad because he is one of the most talented players in the league, but he's just not really demonstrating that right now. So, to me, I feel like that's been really disappointing to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's not even really like an injury problem, to be honest. It's just more like a him problem.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Like I said, I wish Spencer were here to defend him, but I don't even know if he can.
He wouldn't. He would totally agree.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. Well, that's all we got for our surprises and disappointments, right? I don't know if you guys have anything else. No. All right.
I've said
Well,
all I needed to say.
we did that. We did our Chris Paul segment. Justin, now we have a game. So I'll let you take it away from here.
All right, Jory, if it's you or Tyler, you guys are gonna have to pop off with the editing. We could really make a fire TikTok with this, but
Oh gosh.
we're gonna do a nice and simple. Keep it easy. Keep five, cut five. I'm gonna give you guys two sets of players. We're gonna, just run down the line, 10 players. Um, just as soon as I name them, keep them, cut them.
And this is based off of this year.
This is based off of right now, yes.
All right.
Are we
Take it,
Toby and
you
I?
can take it strictly based off how they're playing right now as of today, or just how you kind of see them playing for the rest of this season.
I gotta put my GM hat on real
Yeah.
quick.
Or Toby and I have to agree, or are we doing our separate
Yeah,
lists?
just it would make it a
Alright.
lot easier for
All right, that's fair.
for
All right,
everybody.
Toby. Don't sell me, Toby.
All right, so just take them for what it is. I'm not gonna say nothing about anybody. Just take it what it is. All right, keep five, cut five. First name on the board, Pascal Siakam.
Ooh. I'm feeling keep, but what do you think? I like Pascal, even though
I
the
like
Pacers
Pascal,
are-
but I kind of want to say cut
Oh, why do you want to say cut?
because I feel like there's a lot of good like forwards and stuff, and I feel like he's gonna. I have an idea of who he's gonna list off.
Now you're not making like a starting lineup or nothing. This is strictly just who you would want and who you wouldn't want.
All right,
And there's no
let's.
order. You don't have to do a top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just
I got you. Let's we'll keep him. We'll keep him.
All right.
you're keeping track of this, Jory.
Yeah, I have.
All right,
write it down.
because I'm not keeping track. All right, second guy on the board, Miles Bridges.
Ooh. He's actually playing pretty well in Charlotte, but I think I'm gonna
Yeah, that kind of feels like a cut though.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut him.
I think we're gonna cut Bridges.
All right, third name, Scotty Barnes.
Ooh,
I like
seems like a
Scotty.
keep.
I like Scotty. Yeah,
I think I'm gonna keep Scotty. We got
bring the
two.
energy. Yeah, I like that.
Guy you were just talking about there, Jory. Ja Morant.
Cut.
That's tough, but yeah, we're gonna have to cut him.
Nah, cut him.
He's gonna be like a
35% from the field. Hell no, I don't need that.
Fifth guy, James Harden.
James Harden. We're gonna have to keep. We're gonna have to keep that.
I'm keeping him.
As much as I don't like him for what he did with the Nets,
Nah, keep.
we're gonna have to keep him based off of this year.
Keep. Yeah.
All right, so we're halfway through the first set of guys here. What is your thing looking like here so far?
We have Pascal, Scotty, and Harden as keeps, and we have Miles Bridges and Morant as cuts.
All right,
I think we're 5 for 5 so far.
these next five names, these are gonna be tricky for you. I gotta say, I really was cooking. I really was cooking with the bottom end of the list.
All right.
All right, the sixth guy, Franz Wagner.
Ooh.
Oh, I love Franz, dude.
Damn. Yeah, that's tough.
That's what I mean. He's gonna give us a bunch of forwards, like nice forwards.
I mean,
But I
like
guess it
you
doesn't
said,
matter.
we're not really
Low key,
building
yeah,
a
I did give you a
roster.
bunch of
Hold on,
forwards.
let's think. Let's think. We got 3 already. So if we pick this guy, we can only pick one more. We have to cut all the rest.
You're right. I feel like we should
But I love
I
Franz
feel like we
Wagner.
should. I know. I feel like we should cut him though. We probably should have not kept Pascal.
All right, since we kept Pascal, let's cut Franz.
Franz.
And
Sorry, Franz.
we're just gonna have to see who we get.
Yeah.
All right, seventh name, you got this guy and then three more names. Amen Thompson.
I kind of feel like cut.
Kind of feels like a cut.
Even though I like Amen a lot, he's not. I don't know.
I don't think
feel
he's
like a
putting up
cut.
the numbers that we would want to see.
He's definitely an impactful player, but he feels like more of like a. He's not like that go-to guy.
Yeah, he's more of like the side guy. I think we're gonna
we'll
cut him.
We'll cut Amen.
All right, eighth name, Cooper Flag, the rookie, the one pick.
Honest, I don't want to. I can't keep. No, we can't keep Cooper. We can't. If we cut Franz, we can't keep Cooper. We can't.
Yeah, but if we're going based off of like potential,
But then we have to take the next two. Whoever it is.
dang, dude.
I like Cooper though. Cooper actually looks really good. Like
Didn't he
looks
just
like-
drop like 33?
Now I feel like we should. Damn. I wish he took Franz.
All right. Yeah, but you're right. We just dropped Franz. We should have kept Franz. All right.
What do we do?
Let's cut him. Let's cut him. And
Cutting Cooper. All right.
we'll stick with whoever we get.
All right.
All right, your second to last guy.
Well, the next two are keeps, regardless. But
You're
I'm
keeping.
curious.
You're keeping. You know what? Yeah. You're keeping these two, which
Boy.
you guys kind of clutched up. You're
Oh,
keeping Austin Reeves and Anthony
Okay.
Edwards.
Love it.
damn.
I love it.
All right.
Almost perfect. We almost got it perfect.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the only swap would have been Franz for Pascal, probably, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But everyone else, I like. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that for the most part, I think. All right. We got a second group of guys here.
Oh boy.
All
This is
right.
gonna be our last keep five, cut five. First guy, Steph Curry.
Keep.
I don't know how we could cut Steph.
There's no
Honestly.
way. Yeah. He's playing out of his mind. Like, I think he had a 2-game span where he had like 98 points or something. Like, this guy's like 37 years old, still doing this. It's ridiculous.
But he's about to give us all the stars now. So we're about to get like,
I'm taking Curry.
I guess, yeah, I guess we'll have to keep him.
Don't get ahead of yourself there, Toby.
Taking Curry. There's no way. You
Don't
could
get ahead of
name
yourself.
9 players or whatever. He's
Yeah. All right. The second guy, Jalen Brunson.
We have better players now, I feel like. That's tough, dude. That's so tough.
What do you think?
I think we cut him. I think we cut him.
Wow, you're cutting Brunson.
Nah, we'll keep Brunson. We'll keep Brunson and Curry.
I'm just trying to think like in my head.
You're not making a lineup here. It's just who's the best five.
I know. We'll keep Brunson now.
All right. Keeping Brunson. I feel like he's gonna give us a heavy hitters.
Yeah, he is.
The third guy, Carl Anthony Towns.
Cut, cut, easy.
All right. All right. Well, yeah, we'll
I
cut.
love Cat, but like we're
We'll cut
cutting
him.
him.
You even said he was playing a little underwhelming,
Oh
Justin.
yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll cut. We'll cut Cat.
All right, next name, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Keep. Sorry. We
All
can't-
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Gotcha.
3 keeps and
We
1
got
cut
3
so far.
keeps.
All right, next name,
Oh boy.
your guy, Toby, Michael Porter Jr.
We're gonna have to cut him. I'm sorry.
MPJ.
He's that guy right now in the Nets just because. I mean, you put any other superstar on this team, he's dropping at least 5 points per game. I'm just saying, like he's good, but
5?
like he's not on the Steph Curry, Giannis type of level.
Oh yeah.
All right, next name, Kevin Durant.
Ooh.
Let's not let our biases get in the way.
What biases? You're the one with bias. I don't have any bias against KD.
I'm just saying, I know he's a legend, but like this is a heavy hitting round.
You want to cut KD?
I kind of do.
That's what
I
it
kind of
sounds
do.
like. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think in Houston, yeah, like he hasn't really.
Jorie, what do you think?
I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, it feels wrong though. Like, it just feels wrong.
I know that's what I'm saying. It feels wrong, but like it might be the right thing to do.
All right, let's do it. Let's cut him.
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
cutting.
this feels so wrong. Oh my gosh. No,
It'll trust me. It'll work out.
I don't know. I think we just messed up. We just totally messed up.
All right, that was actually 6 guys. So how's your list looking so far?
We have Curry, Brunson, and Giannis in our keeps, and then we have Cat, MPJ, and KD as our cuts.
So it's 3 and 3. You got to split these next 4.
Yeah.
All right. Norman Powell.
Oh. See? Like, you can't keep Norman Powell over KD. Come
No,
on,
but
dude.
no,
I mean,
we're not keeping. I don't think we can keep Norman Powell. We're just gonna have to get. I don't know.
Yeah.
2 out of these next 3 have to be like
I think
big
we gotta
guys.
cut him.
Next
We're gonna
name,
have to. We're gonna have to cut him.
Julius
He is playing
Randle.
really well. Ooh.
Julius Randle.
Julius Randle.
I might keep him, actually. He's actually playing well for Minnesota this year. And then we can split the next 2. You know, we have options. Because if we cut him, also, we have to take the next 2.
I guess. Yeah. Because we want to be safe. We're gonna take Randall.
All right. Second to last name, Jaylen Brown.
I love Jaylen Brown.
And
Who could he?
but
He's gonna. I have a feeling. I know he's gonna give for the last pick. So I want to say no, but Jaylen
No.
Brown's great.
JB,
So you're cutting him?
I'll defer to you here, Toby.
Let's cut him. Let's cut him.
All right.
All right.
JB.
Who do you think I was going to say, Toby? Who do you think you're keeping?
Wemby.
No. You guys are keeping Cade Cunningham.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
I
That's,
like that.
That's huge.
I like that.
So yeah, maybe we should have kept KD.
I mean, yeah. Yes. I don't know. Like, for who? I'm taking Cade, Curry, Giannis for sure. And like Brunson and Randall, like, I don't know. I mean,
Bronson, I think that's a
Like,
keep. I think we
debatable.
did good there.
Randall has been really good though. Like, I don't know if he's KD, but like you said, like I think we view KD as like a, like a GOAT.
Yeah.
Who's better right now?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's hard to say.
I think you guys did
Obviously-
pretty good. I probably would have swapped KD for Randall just based off aura, but
Or
That first list though, that we did perfect on that first one.
yeah.
well, good stuff. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Keep 5, cut 5. Good stuff.
Shout
Good
out to
stuff.
Bread Basket, bro. That's the page on Instagram that I get all these games from.
Got a bread basket.
Two guys, Danny and Zach. Two
What up?
brothers. They do their thing.
Shout out to
Nice.
them.
Cool. All right, well, I think that'll do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good stuff. Shout out Chris Paul. Shout out all the people that surprised us this far, and hopefully all the disappointments they get better. And shout out Breadbasket.
Yeah,
So,
man.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, hopefully we, are a little bit, we can do a little bit more episodes in the future, but if not, we'll try our best. I did just make a video on Reed Shepherd, so go check that out. If you want to watch some Reed Shepherd film, he had a career high 27 points against the Nuggets on Friday, so I talked about that game. He's playing really well. So yeah. Any final words? Shout out the Denver Broncos. They're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Broncos have been playing good. Yeah.
Not as good as the Eagles, but
Well,
We came into Philly and spanked y'all, so it's all good.
I actually saw a stat that the Eagles and the Broncos have like two of the best defenses in the league. They've only let up 30 points one time this season, each team.
Mhm.
Guess who
they
that
caught us
team,
at a low moment in our
guess who that team
season.
was for both your teams? New York Giants,
I already
baby.
know.
Jackson Dart.
The
Only-
Giants, yeah, like come on.
Only guy to put
Also,
up 30 against you two
That
bozos.
team also gave up 30 points in a quarter, so I'm not trying to
Yeah,
hear.
that might have been the worst game of any sport I've ever seen.
Yeah. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Cool. Until next time, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Go
Shout out to
Birds.
Full Court Report. Sorry Spencer couldn't join us, but like I said, until next time, we'll be seeing you.
Peace.